This video is about the classification system. I know we talked about this a little bit in class the other day, but somebody you have to understand a little bit about is this guy. His name's Carl Linnaeus. He's the father of the classification system. He actually wrote a book back in 1735 called Systema Naturae, and this was basically a book about how to classify living organisms. And it's something just for you to think about. 1735, we're talking about back before the founding of America, like pre-1776, and this is just sort of amazing to think about the time period on this. Now, to be totally fair, he didn't develop the modern system of classification that we have, which kind of breaks down like this figure we have here, starting with all living things at the top, then domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. The way that Linnaeus' system broke down was he started with kingdoms as the broadest group, and granted he only had three, so it's not exactly as complex as the modern system. But then after that, he had classes, orders, family, and then a genus and species system for living things. So really, all that we've added to this is we've added the idea of the phylum, and then we've expanded things. Like, there's now more kingdoms than Linnaeus first knew about. But again, if you're thinking about the time period in which he was doing this, they had no idea about bacteria and a lot of the things that we've added since then with like the different bacteria groups and other microscopic things, he had simply like no clue about. So it makes sense that his system is something that we still use today. And in order to understand classification, it's valuable to understand where it came from. So Carl Linnaeus is definitely one of the founding people, I would say, as far as the scientists we've talked about this year, we have, Carl Linnaeus up there as definitely one of the bigger contributors to what we've been discussing. Linnaeus is definitely up there with Gregor Mendel and Charles Darwin. Now, the main thing for you to know is you should be aware of this order that's pointing out on the left. So starting with all living things, then there's the domain. Really, all domain breaks down into is whether something is prokaryotic or eukaryotic. Then we have the kingdoms. So we have animals, plants, fungi, and then we have the different bacteria groups. So you've got Monera and then Archaeobacteria, which are like the older kinds of bacteria. Then the phylum. So we have all kinds of different groups there. We talked in class about us being chordates. So mostly it's animals with a backbone, or there's some things with the notochord that are included in here, like lancelets and tunicates. But those are kind of like weird exceptions. But the main thing that I want you to know is just this general breakdown, as well as the classification for people in all of these groups. So remember, we're kingdom Animalia, we are phylum Chordata, class is Mammalia, order is primates, family is Hominidae, genus is Homo, species is Sapiens. So if you know that, honestly, just the order there and then the particular breakdown of the classification for people, that's really all I'm looking for so far with this one. It's just kind of starting off in very broad terms. We'll get into some more detailed things as we progress through the week. What you'll be doing next week is actually identifying creatures from the back of the room, like the little preserved specimens from the back of class. We'll actually use an appendix in your textbook to allow us to do some of that. So as always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Make sure you answer the couple questions that are in the link below this video, and you'll be all set. Thank you.